Hey guys, welcome back. In the video today I'm going to be installing some custom van shades into my Ford Transit Custom, just like these ones. It's coming up. So if you look out there on the market, there isn't actually that much available for the Ford Transit Custom in terms of sort of window shades or blinds. You can go for sort of the normal curtains that you can get from places like Caravans and a few other places supply like the standard curtains as well. But we wanted something a little bit different in the van. So if you look out on the market, there seems to be quite a lot of stuff for VWs in terms of the window pods or the window blinds that kind of come in the pod units, but didn't really find anything for the Transit Custom. I think there are some options coming onto the market now, but I wanted to try and do something myself. I'm going to go for a DIY solution, but also trying to use a blind from IKEA. So a bit of a hack that I've seen on other channels as well. So that's what we're going to do. Going to focus initially on this side window here, so the window above our oven and our cabinet. You can see at the moment there's nothing there, we've just got the window itself. What the plan is going to be is we're going to try and build some custom pods initially and going to build those out of ply. They're going to go just on this rim here. The actual pod itself is going to fit all the way around this section, so we're going to get a piece of ply and apply that to the full section. So I just need to measure up there, and then behind that we're then going to have our IKEA blind that'll sit behind that ply. We'll hopefully be able to kind of pull that down to give us the actual shade for the window itself. Going to get those measured up now. I think from memory it's about 114 width by about 60 height, because what we want to try and do is get the actual flat surface here, so we've got something to attach to. There's already kind of a curvature and a shape that we can follow to do that. So going to measure up and get the ply cut. So just have this marked up now. First thing I'm going to do is cut the square out. So it was 114 by 60. In terms of recycling, so these were the old ply panels that came out of the original panel van. So it's quite thin, it's just 3mm ply. So I'm hoping that this is going to be thick enough to give enough rigidity to the actual window pod itself. I want to try and use this first because I've got it. So I'll get this cut down to size and shape now, and then we'll do a first little fit in the van. Just back in the van now, so just offering this up just really to make sure generally size wise this is going to go exactly where I need it to. It all looks good. Next thing I need to do is I'm going to have to try and then profile and measure up, because I want this cover to fit in the arcs here of the van. So I'm going to have to mark up here and here. Oops. Awesome. And then I'll get a profiler into that curve and make sure I can get that cut. Do that for the top two curves first, see if I can get that to go in nicely, and I'll tackle the bottom. Just on the bottom, this bottom right hand corner, there's a slight little bump in the bodywork there, so we might not be able to get directly flush up against that piece of metal work. So when it comes to it, you might just need to just nick out that little touch there on the side. And I've just broke a shelf! Carnage! That's the ply panel now cut for the back of the window pod. So as you can see now, just kind of get this offered up into the van just to make sure that this fits in place. And the next part is going to be to cut out the centre section for where the window will be. Marked up now with my dynamic, sophisticated corner making tool, which is a plate. So I'm going to get the aperture cut now for the window, and then we'll try and get this fixed in. That's the backing plate now for the window pod or the window blind. So just see that in place now, fits in quite nicely, got it to fit quite well in terms of the corners, and just that bit at the side there that we've got cut out. Next stage then, we're going to get this lined with 4-way stretch carpet, and then we're going to think about fixing. Now we have more helpers for our camper van conversion. This is Flopsy and Peter. Obviously fantastic when you're trying to do 4-way stretch carpet and the rabbit's chewing things. Excellent. So you may have seen a previous video I did on how to do 4-way stretch onto ply panels. So I'm going to use the same technique here. Just going to use some Trim Fix adhesive. I'm going to do this top edge of the carpet and also the panel, and then kind of flip that over and kind of work my way down slowly. That's the window pod now, all nicely carpeted up. Looks pretty neat. So going to go over and see if this will now fit into the van. pod now in place, just holding this up in place at the moment just to make sure that it fits in. But yeah, fits in really nicely and goes exactly where we want it to go. That's it now for part 1 of the video, guys. Part 2, I'm going to be actually fitting the blind itself and getting this fixed into the van. So hopefully tune in for part 2.